Hi, and welcome to another episode of All Things Considered. Tonight, I'm doing a video that was given to me by somebody that wrote a comment on a video I made the other night. He posed a very, very good question to me. In 25, I have said that I wanted to run for mayor of Seattle. So far, I've not seen the mayors, this mayor, the past mayors, do anything substantial to help Seattle as a whole. It's helped businesses. It's helped transplants that have moved to Seattle. But I don't see it helping its own people. I do not see the Seattle City Council helping its own. And I understand what's going on here. I really do. Just like with America, we are so enamored by our past history that we strive to help the transplants that come here more than we want to help ourselves. Just like a grandparent that treats its grandkids better than it did its kids. It didn't treat its kids quite as well as it should have, so it's making up for lost time with its grandkids. And I see Seattle doing the same thing. It is almost like it wants to erase its past and it wants to embrace what it considers to be its future. And the question that was asked to me was, since Seattle is mostly liberal, how would I, a person, an average Joe, running for mayor of Seattle, connect with the voters? And that's a very, very good question. And I had not thought of that before because I was thinking that I could just go there, I could put out what I felt was right and how I wanted to fix the city, the things I wanted to work on and the stuff I wanted to get accomplished. And I assumed that everybody would be okay with that and they would either like it or not like it. But I'm neither a liberal, I'm neither a conservative, nor am I an independent. I am a little of everything. I like my independence. I also have certain things that I am very, very liberal about, and I am also very conservative about certain things, such as my religion. I'm very conservative about that. I do not believe that it is right for me to push my viewpoints off on other people. I can explain how I feel. I can explain why I feel that way without jeopardizing your personal viewpoints on how you feel about certain things, such as city matters. I can talk to you about why I think Seattle needs to change. I can talk to you about what I feel is important. But at the end of the day, the only way anything is going to get fixed or any way anything is going to get changed is if you, the citizen, believe that those things need to get fixed. If you don't see them as a problem, then you're not going to be concerned with them. Now, how I would connect with the liberal voter is the same way I would connect with the independent and the conservative voter. I would go around and I would talk to people. I would open up a forum to where I could do video chat. I would get a group of people together that believe a certain way, and we would sit and talk. And we would put it on YouTube and open it up to everybody. We would do live video forums to where you could type in your questions. I could give you my answers. Some of the people that are sitting there that I'm interviewing, they could give you their opinions on things. I'm not gonna cut down the conservative voter. I'm not going to cut down the liberal voter, nor the independent voter. I'm not going to cut down anybody. Everybody is equal in my book. We are all striving for the same goal, which is to make Seattle better. Now, it's a long time till 2025, but then again, it's also a short time until 2025. Now, I have given the Seattle City Council and the mayor till the end of 2020 to get something substantially started. I have given them my views on what I think needs to get fixed and my ideas for fixing them. And if they choose not to start anything, I told them that I would plan on running for mayor in 2025. At the end of 2020, if I do not see anything substantially happening, I will move back to Seattle. Yes, at the moment, I do not live in Seattle. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. When you're young, like I was, when I moved here, I made a very stupid mistake. And I moved because I fell in love with a girl. And at least I thought I was in love. And I found out that I wasn't. And I got stuck here in Minneapolis. But really, I did not get stuck here. I believe that me moving here gave me the ability to find focus and get my grounding so I could come back to Seattle and I could come back and I could um, help Seattle become the city that it's meant to be. Right now, it is in flux. The city of Seattle has got direction this way and it's got its direction that way, and it's being pulled back and forth, back and forth. You have the transplants that have moved into Seattle that want to make Seattle into something akin to San Francisco. You want people that live there to pull it in a direction that it used to be. Well, nothing ever stays the same, but I'm hopefully going to be able to make things more comfortable for everybody involved. Now, I use a lot of TV and I use a lot of movies for instances because everything that I've seen in TVs and movies can be used to explain a situation that deals with now, such as the TV series that I watched a few times called Let's Make a Deal. Now, most TV shows, they want to revamp the show. They want to change it and make it brand new, which alienates the past viewers that are comfortable with, the guy from Price is Right, Bob Barker. Well, when the TV show Price is Right came along, and they got Drew Carey to come on board, they were very smart. They kept the prices right exactly the same as it was with Bob Barker. They just changed Drew Carey into the host, and he created himself to be a more gentler, kinder, easier on the eyes host like Bob Barker was. The same thing with Let's Make a Deal. When you had Monty Hall on the show, he did the show a certain way. And they were smart enough to take that show and keep it exactly the same, even though they have Wayne Brady as the host. He references Monty Hall all the time in the show and the past show. That way you don't alienate the past viewers and you keep it fresh for the new viewers. Same thing with Seattle and the transplants. Seattle needs to stay comfortable for the residents that have always been there so they don't feel strange, like they're a stranger in their own land. And you also keep it fresh and current for the ones that are moving into the city. There's a way to do that. It's not going to be easy because the city council has let things lapse. They have pushed things under the rug and they have pulled the rug over the top. So now you got this great big huge swooping bump that people can trip on. Now, Seattle is famous for seafood. It's famous for its airplanes, such as the Boeing factory. It's famous for its scenery, such as the green trees and grass. It's famous for the Puget Sound and Elliott Bay. It's famous for its fresh air and clean water. So I would love to be able to keep it that way. If we fix it right now, we still have a chance to make things better. But if we allow it to get past the point of no return, then it may not be fixable. So I would go person to person at first when I get back to Seattle. I would go person to person and I would let them know I'm running for mayor of Seattle. And I'm not a liberal. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I am a everyone for everyone, which means that I want to be what you need me to be to make Seattle a better place. Now, I can't fix everything. The Seattle City Council can't fix everything. But one thing I would like to fix, which has really got on my nerves and it's been on my mind for a long time. I've seen countless videos up on YouTube with the city council, and you've got citizens that come in and they talk about something, and the city council is bored to death. They don't want to be there. They don't want to listen to the citizens. They're on their phones texting, and they're looking up stuff, and they're admonishing the citizens. Look, City Council, we work for the citizens. Mayor of City Council, Mayor of Seattle, we work for the citizens. It's not the other way around. It can't be the other way around. When it starts to get to the point where the citizens work for us, that's when it needs to stop. So, I would go and I would speak and do open forums. On YouTube is a platform that is underutilized. YouTube, you can reach thousands and thousands of people. You just let them know when you're going to do it. You make it worth their time to tune in. You make them feel like they're part of the process and that you care about them. That's the thing, Seattle. You, the citizen, when I say Seattle, I'm talking about the city. But you, the citizens of Seattle, I care deeply about. I care about the transplants. I care about the ones that are on SSI, Social Security, VA benefits, welfare, people that are living in tents, the drug addicts and the alcoholics, the mentally distraught, the ones that are working minimum wage jobs, the ones that are on unemployment. I care about the ones that are minimum wage. I care about the ones that are middle class, that are struggling, that's got families. I care about the ones that are single and the Lonely Hearts Club. I care about the rich. I care about everybody, and I think that everybody in Seattle should be allowed to take a piece of Seattle's pie. I think that the ones that contribute, the ones that make the most out of Seattle, should kind of give back to Seattle. I'm not going to force you to give back, but I'm going to ask you to help out. I'm not going to say you got to or else. I'm not like that. Like the head tax. Kashima Sawant wants to try to do that again. The head tax is a no-no because you cannot force a company to do something. You got to give them the opportunity to feel like they're helping. As I was saying, I think that everybody should be allowed to enjoy whatever Seattle has to offer. I don't think the rich should push out the poor. Now, I am a firm believer that when you have a cost of living that's up this high, when it's up that high, it's going to be very difficult for the minimum wage people to be able to make it, because when you raise the minimum wage up, the cost of living is going to go up because they think that you're making more money, therefore you can afford more. So I would talk to people, and like I said, YouTube is very underutilized. It is. It's very underutilized, and I think I can get a lot of punch out of using the YouTube. I can talk to a lot of people, and I can get a lot of people listening. Like, you can tell me what your viewpoints are and what would I do in that situation. Like, you tell me, you give me a for instance on what you think needs to be fixed, and you ask me how I would fix it. I'll explain it to you, how I would do it. Then you tell me your thoughts on that. I don't see a lot of candidates getting person to person. I see them just sacking everybody into a box and looking at the crowd. It's like, I want to individualize. I want to go door to door, one at a time. I want to do one at a time. But with YouTube, you can do more than one at a time. And that's why I would do a live stream to where you could write in your comments and I'd talk to you person to person on YouTube. And if you don't do YouTube, I'll give you a phone number that you can call me. My phone number will be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week when I'm in Seattle. My phone number would be like Motel 6. My light's always on for you. That's my motto. And I've always lived by that. Yep, I'm like Motel 6. My light is always on for you. So whenever you have a problem, you can knock on my door. If I don't answer, knock again. Same thing with the phone. If you call me and it goes to voicemail, call right back and I'll answer. I may not answer on the first ring, but I will answer. And I'll sit there and talk to you. I don't care if it's 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. It deals with Seattle and it deals with the citizens of Seattle. So I would do that because I care. Now, if you have an idea to go along with this video, if you think of something that maybe I didn't or something I should do that I didn't talk about, put it in the comments below. I'd really love to hear about it. If you have other ideas for this video, please put them in the comments below. If you're curious about other things that I stand for or what I would like to do or how I would go about doing them, ask in the comments. I don't know what you feel if you don't ask me. Also, if you have another idea for another video that you'd like to hear about or you'd like me to talk about or a subject matter you're concerned about, like how would the head tax on Amazon and other people making 200,000 a year or more, how would that, or what is 2 million? Well, whatever it is, I don't know the exact number. I remember it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But you got to be making at least, 20 million a year. I think it is 20 million a year. If your company's making 20 million a year, you have to pay a $270 per head tax, which means that if I owned Amazon and I was making over 20 million a year, I would have to pay $270 per person in my company that I could not pass on to my employees. That's the thing. Jeff Bezos realized that he could not pass that cost on to his employees. That's why he was against it, because he doesn't like having money taken out of his own pocket. Now, instead of forcing Jeff Bezos to pay that out of his own pocket, you give him the opportunity to feel like he's doing it to help out Seattle. He needs to do like Bill Gates, man. Bill Gates gets a big pass in my book because he's done an awful lot to help out Seattle. Even in the beginning, early 90s, when Seattle needed new libraries and new computers and new internet setups, Microsoft was right there to pitch right in and do their part because they were making a lot of money off Seattle and they believed it was just fair to give back. So anyway, if you have another idea for a video, put it in the comments below. Also, smash that thumbs up button down there if you like my videos. Also, hit the subscribe button so you can hear more about what I'm talking about. I go by all things considered for a reason, because I consider all things. Having said that, this has been All Things Considered. Have a good night, Seattle, America, and all points beyond.